Italian-American hero. And, he's no fan of Volodymyr Zelensky, and he dresses a lot better than him, too. Producer Frankie, even with a T-shirt, you look better than Volodymyr Zelensky in his T-shirt. How you doing, pal?
I appreciate that. However, Mike, I will not be wearing this to the White House when I get my invitation. But it's great to be here. What a joke.
I like it. Real America's Voice own. Why don't you wear a suit? Newsflash, little update here. He's still not wearing a suit. Like he really just couldn't do one thing to just make us kind of feel good. Could have just put on a shirt and tie. Maybe we would have felt a little bit better. But he still hasn't done it. And he's still sabotaging plans for international peace. I said this the other day, is that every time a deal seems to be close, Zelensky seems to take an order, get a call, and then the plan falls apart. Marco Rubio just the other day was in London, and he was ready to go sit at the table with people from the Kremlin and Ukraine and say, hey, let's make a deal. And then all of a sudden, in the 11th hour, just like the White House meeting, when Zelensky came in and he started the confrontation and he started to showboat in front of Trump, he spikes it, he sabotages, he answers it to somebody else. He kind of is thinking about Osama bin Laden or Muammar Gaddafi. The minute you step out of line with the globalists that control you and put you in a power, they take you out. That's a good sound effect. We're gonna cut that and keep that. They take you out. So it's really interesting to me how Zelensky's kind of in this, I think, rock and a hard place. I don't think he's calling any of the shots. I think Trump is saying, make a deal. And the people who put him into power are saying, you're not allowed to make a deal, little guy. We're going to keep giving you cocaine. We're going to keep giving you the money. You're going to keep yelling. You're going to keep screaming and saying what we want. And at the end of the day, you're going to keep pissing off President Trump. President Trump is pissed right now, and rightfully so. You could put this on the screen. Frankie got it right there. President Trump is mad, rightfully so, as I said, because every time it seems like there's about to be a peace deal, Zelensky does something stupid, and Zelensky does something that is just not, to quote the great President Trump, in the cards. Crimea has been gone for a long time. It's kind of like, when the United States of America annexed New Mexico. It'd be amazing that if in the negotiations for the USMCA trade deal, if the Mexican president said to President Trump, nope, sorry, we're not going to make a deal until you give us back New Mexico. Trump would say, well, that's like been a open and shut thing for a long time. What are you talking about? But Zelensky goes, I want Crimea. And as Trump points out, Barack Hussein Obama gave Crimea back to the Russians a long time ago. And the people of Crimea, they're like, hey, we identify with the Russians. We speak the language, we go to the church, we do all the stuff. What do you want us for? Zelensky says it because he knows it won't allow a peace deal to happen. So Marco Rubio just said, hey, I'm out. But when Marco Rubio and the Trump administration goes out, and this is a tough pill to swallow, everybody, the right-wing provocateurs, the wolves in sheep's clothing, step in. Kind of seems like Ben Shapiro, who is by all accounts, I guess, a conservative commentator, seems like there's been a couple of instances of him sabotaging President Trump and him sitting down with Zelensky, for an interview in Kiev, I think affirms everything we've ever thought about Ben Shapiro. So think about it. In the midst of Trump being like, get out of the White House, little guy, and J.D. Vance saying, where's your suit? And then Zelensky spiking the peace negotiation in London, here comes Ben Shapiro, ready to save the day. I guess he got paid too, with a little propaganda interview. Here is a preview of the very real dramatic exchange. Roll it.
All working? Yes?
Yes, all good.
Excellent.
I want to start by asking you about the meeting that you had in the Oval Office. How do you feel that you could have handled things better with the president and vice president?
The meeting in the Oval Office, it did not help Ukraine.
You spent nearly $200 billion to the defense of Ukraine. There are lots of questions about where the money is going.
There's nothing to hide. We're absolutely open.
Would an audit be possible by the United States of where those dollars are going?
We are kind of the living shield against Russia's invasion to the civilized world.
I want to get to Russia's intentions and possibilities.
Right. Oh, man. And so he does it. And you know what I find is interesting, Frankie? It's like, when the Major League Baseball players were getting brought up on steroid charges, and all of a sudden, all the ones who are from the Dominican Republic forgot how to speak English. Zelensky always speaks English. Like he was sitting there in the White House without a translator, speaking English For Ben Shapiro, he needs to like reverberate back to the Ukrainian language. So there's like a, 10-second buffer time. So the translator on both sides, Shapiro's and Zelensky's, can curate it up for each other. And Frank, you brought up a very good point about how Ben Shapiro, it's not the first time he's done something to kind of fly in the face and sabotage Trump a little bit. What'd you notice, Frankie?
Yeah, well, first off, regarding the earpiece, maybe Zelensky, maybe he learned his lesson when he, went to the White House. It almost caused it just destroyed everything. But, maybe a couple people said, hey, maybe your English isn't so good. So I understand that. However, Ben Shapiro, he's throwing me off a little bit because we did see, we saw Trump do a joint session to Congress, right? And that was a couple months back. And, Ben was there as a guest up in the balcony. And, it's just interesting since that moment, he's done a few weird things. Like, he decided to use his platform to say, you know what, we should really be getting Derek Chauvin to get a pardon for him. And it's like, listen, regardless of what your viewpoint is, maybe he should get a pardon, maybe he shouldn't. I'm not here to argue that, but to bring it up is almost totally sabotage to me because that puts Trump in a position where he can't win. I mean, that's like, let's cause some more race wars, why don't we? It's just bizarre.
You make a great point. Frankie, is that the left wants the race war. They don't want a good economy. They don't want jobs. They really want the lowest common denominator, race war rhetoric. That's when they're at their apex. So when Ben Shapiro puts it in the discourse and says, well, what about Derek Chauvin? And then the media goes, well, Mr. President, allies of you on the conservative right have said that you should be prioritizing pardoning Derek Chauvin. Trump goes, I got to make peace deals with 6 different countries. I got countries ripping us off on trade. Like, this is what I got to get asked about right now. And that was started by Shapiro. A very good point. It almost feels like, again, one time, what does George Bush say? One time, fool me once, 2 times, you fool me once. You can't be fooling me again. I bet, right? I bet you Shapiro's more of a Bush guy than he is a Trump guy if you really put the gun to his head. But Shapiro, we're not buying it anymore. Something is up with Ben Shapiro in this. Now, Trump, to his credit, is going onward. He's not getting the distraction. And despite the fact that we know Zelensky's answering to a higher power, I think Trump knows it too. Trump is still saying, I want the deal. He's still acting cool, calm, and collected. Here is his statement on it. Roll, Frankie.
Say that I think Russia is ready, and a lot of people said Russia wanted to go for the whole thing. And I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky. So far it's been harder, but that's okay. It's all right. But I think we have a deal with both. I hope they do.
All right, I'm gonna do a little Trump translation as somebody who's listened to him for 9 years, 10 years plus. Whenever he goes, I thought he says something in the negative, but then he goes, but that's all right. It's such that's Trump. That's the vintage Trump. When he says that, what he's saying is, I'm pissed, and we now know that you're not dealing in good faith, so we will steamroll you. That's all right, little buddy. That's all right. We know who you're answering to. That's my little Trump translation, Frankie. Am I on point about that?
That is just on point.
Yeah, that's a Trump. That's a Trump trend, but that's all right. It's like when somebody really pisses you off to the point of no return, but that's all right. Now, here is something that I want to talk about in relation to this. Trump is trying to make a peace deal with Zelensky, and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is attempting to maintain peace around the world. Now, Pete Hegseth is a pick that I've applauded as one of the best picks that Trump has made in his entire cabinet. Pete Hegseth didn't need this. Pete Hegseth's good-looking guy, got the $1 million Fox contract. He's got the beautiful family, 1 million kids, okay? Very heterosexual Christian family man, okay? I mean, it ain't more kids. I mean, he's got like 10 kids, this guy, almost as much as Elon Musk. So Pete Hegseth's got a lot on his plate. He didn't need to do this, but he did it because Trump identified this is the guy. Looks the part, sounds the part, strong, and he's going to be loyal to us. He didn't come from the defense contractor space. He didn't come from any of these weird, rank and file, military think tank, military industrial complex. No, totally unobstructed. And when Pete Hegseth last week, we talked about it on the show, was a deciding factor in stopping a strike against Iran. He said, whoa, we're not going to do this. I noticed they have doubled and tripled down on Pete Hegseth. This is the latest ruse that they put out on Hegseth. Now, NPR had put out a story, and it's funny because NPR is funded by our tax dollars to put out leftist propaganda. So Trump said, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be funding NPR. Like, we're not living in 1925 anymore, whereas Joe Biden would say, people got to turn on the record player to get the news, you know? Like, you can get the news anywhere, even on this show. Like, you get the news anywhere you want. You don't need NPR anymore. So if all they're going to do is print leftist propagandic nonsense, maybe we could just not fund them anymore and give the money back to the less fortunate. Of course, NPR runs a story and says, Pete Hegseth is immediately, they say, as soon as that comes out, Pete Hegseth, they're looking to replace him. Come on. It's so predictable and stupid. Caroline Levitt said he's not going anywhere. And then they do one more, Frankie. They do a stupid, salacious story. So with Trump, it was, Trump hid in the bunker when the BLM riot. Remember that? When the people were, trying to destroy the Secret Service barricades? They're Trump hid in the bunker. And then years later, the guy literally gets shot, stands up and puts his fist in the air. It's I don't think he's afraid of very much. But they run a fake story that can't be substantiated at the time. They're doing it right now. Pete Hegseth orders Pentagon to install makeup studio, reportedly costing thousands. Fake story. You know what would have been a more believable story? If they said, Pete Hegseth has installed a tampon dispenser in all of the men's bathrooms. So the LGBTQ troops, which again, under Lloyd Austin in the previous administration, they really wanted, they can all get their tampons more accessibly in the men's restroom. That would have been a more believable story. It's so ridiculous. But that's probably what we were on the verge of seeing happening under Lloyd Austin and Biden. They don't like Hegseth because of two things. One, he's not going to allow foreign conflict and war to break out. And two, he's going to make the military so strong that nobody messes with us. The New World Order and these globalists have wanted America to become weak, wanted us to get into war with a weaker military, so we fight the war longer. Right? Then more money gets spent. They want these people on the front lines. The tampon dispenser using people in the men's bathroom who, they very much are still in the Pentagon, getting rooted out by Hegseth. And you know what? The Biden holdovers don't like it. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Major Rachel Jones. And what pride means to me is celebrating that diversity is our strength as a nation and as an army. Pride means something very special to me as a LGBTQ individual, and it's a chance to show everyone what we have to offer in terms of the diverse skill sets that we bring and the diverse ways of thinking we bring into the team to make everything work better.
Okay, Frankie, I mean, is that man, woman? Is Trump would say man, woman, person, camera, TV? Remember? So I don't know what that is.
I would like to know what they could bring to the table. I'm sorry. What do they bring? That thing said the word diversity 9 times in a 30-second clip. Nothing about war fighting, winning, strength, courage, honor, the Constitution, doing it for your family, being ready, being fearless. They said the word diversity 9 times in a 30-second clip. And that doesn't really look like somebody who's going to make Americans feel good. And the people who are in the ranks, who are, emboldening that, enabling that, they don't like it when Hegseth goes, why do we got a bunch of fat, puffy weirdos? Maybe we should just have a standard on fitness. Wow, that'll really send the leftists into a frenzy about it. Pete Hegseth saying it like a man. Roll it.
Troops fighting in the unit that many of you will lead are capable, truly physically capable of doing what is necessary under fire. They need to be fit, not fat. Sharp.
All right. They need to be fit and not fat. It's and then can you imagine being in the military ranks and all the leftists who've been put in there who are getting their tranny surgeries paid for? Okay, they enlist. They go, you'll get your tranny surgery paid for, and you don't even have to run a mile in under 12 minutes anymore. You can be as fat and as stupid and as tranny as you want. And you can go be in the military. And if we get into a war, well, the war will go longer because you're weaker, and that's good for business. Hegseth putting the hammer down, stopping it. That's why they don't like him. but he stays. Let's go. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And I want to tell you about our first sponsor of the show. And our first sponsor are our friends over at freetrumpknife.com. Here's a little heads up for the audience tonight. Freetrumpknife.com is giving away a limited number, 250 America is Back Trump 2025 commemorative knives. You can claim yours for free right now. Just cover the shipping. Again, free knife. Come on, slice and dice. This spring-assisted, razor-sharp collector's piece, complete with a laser-etched Trump slogan and an America flag-inspired handle, can be yours. Right now, it's functional, it's patriotic, and it's built for anybody who still believes in strength, freedom, and, you know it, America first. Whether you add it to your collection or you gift it to somebody who just gets it, right? A MAGA patriot. This is one of those rare drops that will go fast. Everybody needs to at least be holding a knife. We think you should be packing some heat, but you should at least be holding a knife too. Head on over to freetrumpknife.com right now and claim yours. Again, there's only 250 available right now. We know we got millions watching, so only 250 available right now, so they will not last. That's freetrumpknife.com right now. Claim yours tonight and carry yours into the spring season and beyond. Look at that thing. It's beautiful. Come on. I'm getting mine right now. 249 left. Haha. Okay, guys. We'll be right back with so much more. Do not go anywhere.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispi here. Thanks for sticking with us on this Saturday night on Real America's Voice TV. You know, we talked about it last week, and we continue to talk about it now, the way the leftists are doubling and tripling down on their love affair for illegal criminal migrants. So much so that now on CNN, they're talking about totally disbanding the entire system, okay, that was created a really long time ago, disbanding the entire system and not having the system answer to the president anymore. I mean, the mind-numbingness of the CNN panels continue to become more and more cringeworthy, but kind of fascinating to watch. Check this out.
Everybody is saying that this is a terrible thing, and yet for just now, all of a sudden he woke up and he realized, this is a terrible thing for our economy and our country.
I just have to respond to your assertion that the federal government should operate independently of the elected president of the United States. You mentioned the Fed, and
the Department of Justice.
You said DOJ, which is obviously appointed and works for the president.
No, but it's independent. Your laws should not be enforced based on the president. They should be enforced based on the law.
You said the military. Obviously, he's the commander in chief of the military. I'm just trying to figure out what percentage or part of the government that you think should run away from the president?
There are institutions that are independent.
I'm going to step in here because I don't want us to change the subject, okay?
Oh, yeah. Abby Phillips is saving her brain-dead correspondent right there. So they don't like, obviously, the fact that President Trump is stopping foreign wars, the fact that he's engaging in international diplomacy, doing trade deals, and deporting migrants. So now, Frankie, the system is we must disband, and these people must not answer to the president. Yeah, it's really, really bad. And, you know, the biggest thing, obviously, as I mentioned before, is the fact that the illegal immigrants are really getting this CNN panel and everybody across CNN and MSNBC worked up. And there was a rare moment of honesty where Caitlin Collins had to ask the question, and it was answered by Senator Van Hollen. You know, we got people in the country that are illegal, they're criminals, they're committing crimes when they're already in the country. You got this Kilmar guy who's become the sacrificial lamb. He's like, you know, all in for Kilmar. Is he a gang member? Did you ask him? Do we think he is? Caitlin Collins asked the question, and there really wasn't much pushback on this obviously laughable answer by Senator Van Hollen. Roll, Frank.
We've spoken to the administration about how they are not making the argument about MS-13 in court. But you told my colleague Dana Bash yesterday that you did not ask Abrego Garcia whether or not he's actually in MS-13. You said you know what his answer is. But how do you know if you did not ask him?
Well, because I know what he's said many times in court, and that's the proper forum for debating this. And as we know, the federal district court judge in this case said, and I brought it with me again, and I'm going to read it, no evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or to any terrorist activity, period. That has been what Abrego Garcia has been telling the court. And I would ask you.
Got it. So if we're keeping score at home here, endless due process for people who came into the country with no due process, and then take the entire system and separate it from the elected president of the United States. Here to help me make some sense of this are my panelists tonight. We have Paula Scanlon from Early Vote Action and my friend Matt Rooney, who writes the Save Jersey blog and host of the Matt Rooney Show on 1210 WPHT. We're going to get him on here, Frankie. We're going to start with you, Paula. What do you make of the way that CNN has been covering the Kilmar Abrego Garcia saga? And what do you think? You think that at any point there's ever going to be a stop where they go, you know, maybe we're out too much on a limb here. Maybe we need to bring it back to center. Do you think they'll ever get to that point in the next 4 years?
I thought they would after the election, after everything that's happened. But to be honest, I don't watch CNN. So the only time I get to see CNN is when somebody like yourself pulls a clip like that. And I'm like very justified in my mind why I do not watch CNN and will never watch CNN. I just don't understand how they're defending people. This guy is not a stand-up guy, okay? This whole situation, they've just found a new George Floyd. This is what they do. The Dems do this every couple of years. They find some guy who either hurt his girlfriend or beat his wife or did something terrible, and they're like, this is the person we want to defend and go on the news and fight for. And I don't understand. They can't find somebody with a little bit of a better track record to get behind and try to advocate for. I mean, I do not understand. And CNN, fake news network, truly, and they're continuing to prove that.
I kind of like that. I've not heard that. Kilmar is the 2025 George Floyd. Actually, that's pretty good.
Is he not?
Matt Rooney. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Matt Rooney, what do you make of this? And do you think at some point midterms are coming up next year? This can't be a good message for Democrats trying to, take back the House and do that in the midterms. They got to pivot at some point, right? New George Floyd. I don't think it's going to play. What do you think?
Well, Paula hit it out of the park, Mike, because if you're going to pivot, you have to have something to pivot to. But we know the Democrat Party since 2015 has had one issue and one issue only. Get the orange man. Orange man bad. Well, the orange man won, right? He's probably never going to be on a ballot again. So now what do you talk about? So they're falling back to, and this is where, Paula, you were 100% correct. They're falling back on what they always do. Try to find new victims. And when you don't have a legitimate victim class, create a new victim class. They've run out of people who legitimately believe that Donald Trump and the United States of America is not providing opportunity for them. So let's invent something called trans and tell them they have a right to be in women's locker rooms. Let's all of a sudden pretend that MS-13 has access to due process, even when they have invaded this country and aren't here illegally. They jumped the shark, and Mike, it's not going to work out very well for them in the midterms, but I don't have any confidence they're going to change their playbook because, again, you would need something actionable to change it too. They've got nothing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, I mean, I guess their next fight that they're going to take up is like all the people sleeping on the streets. It's going to be like, give them more drugs, give them more heroin, give these trans people more power in the military. Move the nation's capital to Portland. Paula, so it's interesting because we're talking about the situation with Kilmar Garcia, and you said it, like, they really have the worst people that they make their martyrs and their saints. And I think it's because I guess they just don't have anybody else. And this was an amazing clip from this past week where Michael Strahan on Good Morning America, used to be a great football player, where we got New Jersey people on the panel, they know. Great football player. Now he peddles the narrative for the fake news on Good Morning America. He brings on Kilmar Garcia's wife. I guess she's recovered from the battering and the bruises that, Kilmar had previously bestowed upon her. And Michael Strahan asked the question, and Frankie and I watched this clip and we're like, wow, I can't believe that they allowed this to go on television. But here it is, and here is her very bizarre answer. Roll it.
I have to ask it. You did take out a temporary order of protection against your husband in 2021. Were you in fear of your husband?
Husband is alive. That's all I can say.
Okay, and I'm not going to push on that apparently. But how much hope?
My husband is alive, and I am not going to push on that. And it's interesting. It's interesting because it seems like, Paula, and you've kind of fought this fight with the trannies in women's sports. It seems like the Democrats, anytime it's like a woman in a tough spot, like they really go for the abuser or, the guy with a penis in the woman's locker room. They always seem to take that side. And Paula, I looked at this poll that came out the other day, and it was like, who thinks that DEI programs are good and who associates with the left? And it was like white college-educated women was like plus 38 for, the Democrat Party. So, Paula, do the women ever get this, or do you think it's just totally gone? The women are never going to wake up on this topic.
I really hope so. I'm trying to change that as much as I can. But that clip, I mean, that is evidence to why I think he should not be in this country. It's for her sake, honestly, more than anyone else's. That is just sad. I can't believe they aired that. It is the white women that believe the DEI programs and talk about probably the white women that are propping up, again, this new George Floyd as the new, savior of the Democrat Party. I wouldn't be surprised if they go and run him for president in 2028 at this rate. But things have started to shift a little bit. There was a recent study that came out, I think through Yale, and I only saw this briefly, that women were starting to shift their viewpoints because of COVID. So I think there is hope, and I'm working on it, and I'm trying to convince more female voters, and we're working on doing that in our place in New Jersey. All of us here on that panel probably share that desire. So we're working on it, but it's just so sad. And these one thing I will say, one last thing is, if you're college educated, it actually means that you're dumber than everyone else.
That's a good point. It really does. You sit in a classroom for 4 years and listen to some very unimpressive person, reading from a manual that they got to read in order to get their tenure. It's very interesting. And, Matt Rooney, so a delegation after, this whole thing started and, Senator Van Hollen goes down there. Then you have a delegation of 5 Democrats including Maxwell Frost, who kind of like cosplays as a member of Congress. He had a credit score so bad that when he got elected, he couldn't rent an apartment in D.C. They go down there, they act like they're on this mission trip. They want to rescue him and bring him out and bring him back into the country. And, it was just even in New Jersey, actually. This happened in Lakewood, New Jersey, where an illegal immigrant speeding 100 miles an hour goes through a stoplight and I think injured a cop, right? And it kind of reminded me of another story from 2021 where an illegal immigrant going 100 miles an hour, should have never been in the country, goes through and kills a young couple in California. So is this going to play in the swing states? And what do you think that they're going to do in these liberal states to kind of keep covering this up, Matt Rooney?
Oh, yeah, because look, you just referenced our home state in New Jersey. Despite everything that you just laid on the record here, Mike, every single member of New Jersey's federal legislative delegation to Congress voted against the Lake and Riley Act. Two of them initially ran from it. Mikey Sherrill, who's arguably the front runner for governor this year on the Democrat side, and Josh Gottheimer, who wants to be governor too. Everyone wants to be governor, but no one wants to take a stand for New Jersey. Now, look at what happened in the last election as we try to figure out where this is going to go. Republicans made tremendous gains in the Garden State. I'm convinced Paula and her friends are going to help us make more gains. But where did they make those gains? It wasn't just in rural white counties. It was in northern diverse counties like Passaic County, like Bergen County. Why is that? Because those that are terrorized by illegal immigration are often exactly the populations that Democrats tell us they care about. Non-white Americans, those that don't have the luxury of having gone to Princeton and gotten a fancy degree in Eastern handpan music or women's studies, right? They're working real jobs like the rest of us, and every day they have to deal with the consequences of this sanctuary state nonsense. So I have a great deal of confidence that Democrats will continue not to learn their lesson. That's the theme of your panel today, Mike, whether you designed it that way or not. But I think in swing states like New Jersey, and we are a swing state, you're going to continue to see migration in the Republican direction because Democrats' priorities have just become so discordant relative to where the population is. How many of them took a trip to the border to actually figure out how to secure it or to visit any of these families, Lake and Riley's family? They wouldn't even stand to clap for them during the president's address to Congress, but they can head down to El Salvador? I mean, seriously?
It's a great point. It is a great point. And it is kind of the design of the panel. And I wonder this, I want to shift gears here and talk about something else that was in the news very big this week. And it was RFK Jr. RFK Jr. Obviously used to be a Democrat and now he's an independent. Trump puts him in the administration and he's basically doing exactly what he said he wanted to do. It's a little bit refreshing. And I saw this, what you're about to see, and it's RFK Jr. banning poisonous petroleum-based dyes from being in the food supply. And I saw this and I said, will Democrats watch this clip and find something to fight him on about it? Let's watch the clip and see what's going on here.
We are spending as much on mitochondrial disorders like diabetes as we spend on our military budget. We can't continue to exist like this. And the problem is industry is making money on keeping us sick. As Jay pointed out, ADHD is associated with all these behavioral disorders. But those disorders are treated not by changing our diet, but providing medications to treat our kids. And they get medicated, and that's the only solution. And, I would point out that there is part of the etiology of these diseases is a kind of media malpractice, mass psychosis that has our media.
Media malpractice there. We're good. It is interesting, and we got just a couple seconds to react on this. But, Paul, I go to you. Obviously, kids are getting more obese by the week and by the month. Do you think that anybody fights RFK on this? I mean, this is obvious, right? What do you think?
Of course the Dems are. I mean, RFK could say something like, cancer is bad, and they'll probably find a way to start advocating for everyone in this country to get cancer. I mean, it doesn't really matter what this administration does. The left is always going to push back. But I'm grateful for RFK for really shaking things up. I think the pharmaceutical industry does profit from people being on medications, whatever they might be, and we should look to that. And And of course, there is a profit in us staying sick, and he's trying to shake that up right now.
100%. And Matt Rooney, autism rates very high in this country and only getting higher. And they say the foods and the drugs could have a contribution to that. Last word, we got 20 seconds.
Yeah, look, there's a reason why Democrats, when they attack RFK, continue to talk about vaccines, because most of what he's looking into right now is very uncontroversial. So they attack the one issue where their polling, I guess, shows that maybe they have some opportunity to get a one-up on him. It's undeniable we're in the middle of a health crisis in this country. Thank God somebody's finally trying to do something about that. Shouldn't that be celebrated? Shouldn't we join that dialogue instead of trying to tear him down?
Yeah. And you know what? I don't think they're ever going to put anything together on any of this. All right, that's my panel. I appreciate them coming on. And I want to tell you guys about our next sponsor here. And I have a question for you guys. Are you fed up with health insurance premiums that are draining your wallet? Well, I want to introduce you guys to the Smart Health Plan. Say goodbye to big insurance and government control and say hello to huge monthly premium savings, a nationwide PPO network with unlimited doctor visits, low copays, unlimited and free access to telemedicine services, and comprehensive catastrophic coverage designed to protect your family from the financial consequences of a serious illness or injury. If you are facing COBRA, if you're self-employed, or if you just need a better deal for your family, the Smart Health Plan has your back. And for businesses with 50 or fewer employees, the Smart Health Plan Group is the solution for you. So just go to the website you see on your screen right here, thesmarthealthplan.com right now, or call them at 833-752-6742. Get in touch with them today because, guys, a lot of medical bills lead to bankruptcy in this country. Do not let that happen to your family. Protect yourself and get covered today with the smarthealthplan.com. Let's go. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with so much more. Do not go anywhere.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff and less flexible? Do you have trouble sleeping? Are you less active than you once were? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences delivering health-boosting treatments to your body. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation, bringing relief to joints and muscles and reducing inflammation while supporting your overall mobility. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's amazing. It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to relax and soothe your body, reducing joint pain and stiffness and increasing circulation.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain, so you feel much better.
The Ultra Shiatsu pillow with 6 infrared heated nodes is designed to mimic a professional massage specialist's hand kneading and working tight muscles in just the right way to bring maximum relief and pleasure. It is even detachable, allowing you to get a deep tissue relief in your upper and lower back, neck and shoulders, feet, calves, or anywhere on your body.
I can't even describe to you the feeling. It's just something that you're gonna have to feel for yourself.
Call or go online now to receive the Remedy Massage System. Your system includes the Zero-G memory foam layer, the vibrational infrared and ultra shiatsu therapies, the removable shiatsu pillow, remote control, and a convenient carry bag free. Just one massage visit can cost almost $100, but you can own the Remedy Massage System and have as many therapeutic treatments as you want. The sooner you order, the sooner you can experience the true remedy for your pain, stiffness, and stress. Call now.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike Crispi here. Thanks for sticking with us on this Saturday night. Last call on Real America's Voice, your new favorite show. And the weekends have never been so fun. Am I right, Frankie? And you know what? Our show started right around the same time that this other show started, hosted by this guy. By the former First Lady, this woman, okay, named Michelle Obama, Big Mike. And Michelle Obama's got this podcast. It gets no viewership. I'm talking like they promote it everywhere and everywhere. And the reason it has no viewership is because, one, nobody cares what Big Mike has to say, and two, She's not talking about anything that anybody, even like moderate to leftist Democrats, would have an interest in hearing. Oh, Michelle Obama dishes the dirt on the plight of, checks notes, black women? You had a black president for 8 years, and you've had DEI programs that have been enacted for the last decade into perpetuity around the world to help black women. But Michelle Obama's podcast, the really highly rated one, with all but 10 viewers a week, wants you to know that the black women is still the number one problem. Come on, roll it.
We don't articulate as black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
And does anyone care?
Yeah, there's that.
Will they care?
If
we
part.
knew, I think we would care. If we knew.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew.
Or, yeah, and we have to ask ourselves, the men in our lives is, why wait to be asked?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like what we go through is pretty obvious. I mean, maybe we're not complaining, but we're actually living life out loud,
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, they're complaining. Trust me, they're complaining. Frankie, Michelle Obama and Barack Hussein Obama seem to be on some rough footing right now. And I don't know, do you think this is sour grapes with Michelle because she feel like she can't go to her totally closeted husband and have a conversation about like her needs and wants and desires? I mean, do you think this is stemming from some long fermenting incompatibility? What do you think, Frankie?
Well, Mike, let's start here. They're going about this all wrong. I mean, this podcast, Mike, could literally beat out JRE. All right, that's Joe Rogan. They could beat out Theo Von. It could beat out any podcast on the charts. But they're talking about the wrong things. Like we can start with. The funny thing is, what really happened to the chef is this. That would be a good episode. Here's another episode. The reason that
wait. People don't know. People don't know that reference. That's a reference because the Obama family chef last year drowned in 2 feet of water. When nobody was home, but the Obamas were home, then they weren't home, then they made a 911 call from the house, but then they made a 911 call allegedly from a mile away, and the chef could never swim. He was trying to learn how to swim, but he was paddleboarding by himself in 2 feet water that he then fell off the paddleboard and drowned, because everybody totally paddleboards by themselves. And Frankie, I guess Michelle Obama doesn't want the ratings.
Yeah, well,
go on.
That's only
Sorry.
episode 1, Mike. And then I think episode 2 could be, this is how BLM was really started because my husband, didn't do what he promised to the black community. And look at this incredible organization that was created out of us. That's episode 2, right? And let's go episode 3. This is how you inflate your net worth by 10x without having any companies or businesses or any qualifications of owning a business, and just making more money per year than Trump's organizations make net somehow. There's plenty to talk about, Mike. There's plenty to talk about, but they're not talking about it.
I don't know. If Michelle Obama is such a humble, to the ground person, then why doesn't she talk about the way that she's a success story as a black woman, allegedly? Either she's not a black woman, if you catch my drift, or she didn't do it in a way in which she could legally repeat. Now, Michelle Obama says that, black women internalize what they're going through and don't talk about it. Now, again, on this show, we believe that everyone is equal. We have a meritocracy. If you are the best at something, whether you're black or whether you're white or whether you're Italian, which is neither, then you should get the job. You should get the position. You should get elected. That's what this is about, a meritocracy. When you make it about racial identity, that is when you either are really dumb or you're knowingly attempting to foment division. But Michelle Obama just must think that her audience is dumb, because members of Congress, like the new superstar of the party, who I think might be the 2028 nominee for vice president, Jasmine Crockett, she never lets us forget who she is. Like, she says it all the time. Roll it.
I want y'all to know that every day that I walk in those halls, regardless of whatever rhetoric they put out about me, I am a very serious lawmaker. At the same time,
does that mean? If you try me, you will find out because I am truly a black woman. So how are they going to find out if Michelle Obama says that black women can't articulate the problems that they have? I don't know, Frankie. I think ever since they came out with DEI initiatives and these programs to equalize things, not by merit, but equalize the diversity to create the new standards, all these things. Jasmine Crockett has benefited the most from it. And again, when she's in a time where she needs something, everyone needs a job, everyone needs to get into an industry or something, Jasmine Crockett just pulls the card and says, I'm a black woman, here's my job. How much plight is there with that? Roll it, Frankie.
I'll say because you've been gracious, is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
Oh my, come on. Have I ever tried to get a job and say, you should hire me? Why? Because I'm Italian. No. So I'm arguing that the black women have more rights on paper than white people or Italians do. Frankie, what do you think?
I mean, it's just a very sad situation. We always deal with this with the Democrats. It's like, there's obviously history in this country, but look where you're sitting right now. Look at the job. Look what you were elected to. There's no. It just the pushing of division. You got to sit back and just see where you look where you are. It's like. It's not the 1800s anymore. Like this country has progressed, and it's incredible to watch it progress. But the Democrats, they just push it, the fear porn, and just shoving it down people's throats to divide us, and not just say, hey, look how far we've come as a country. It's just so sad, and it gets worse and worse. And it's like some racist guy from like the 1900s probably look at that and like, who's paying her? A white man? Like literally, that's probably what they would say. It's insane.
Yeah. A inspirational message, and they know this, an inspirational, uplifting message beats I'm a victim, so therefore I should get more because I'm a victim message every single time. And yes, Jasmine Crockett was put up by the white liberal, the white man, to be a puppet, a stand-in to try to keep black women down. And Michelle Obama seems to be getting in on that. I guess it's a lucrative business. All right, guys, going to tell you about our next sponsor of the show today. And our next sponsor are our friends on over at Brightcore. And let me tell you about something that's been a total game changer for my gut health and for my weight. I've lost a couple pounds. I'm looking good. You guys all tell me that. Well, you probably heard about the power of fermented foods, right? Kimchi is one of the most powerful ones out there, packed with over 900 unique strains of probiotics. That's right, 900. And now you can get all those benefits in a simple capsule without the strong taste or the mess or chopping these things up. Nope. Pill, boom, you're ready. Kimchi 1 supports a healthy gut, helps with digestion, and gives your immune system the boost it needs, especially in these days when a lot of the food is processed garbage. In fact, many have found it helps in dealing with post-vaccination symptoms caused by mRNA. It's the kind of natural support your body craves when you're feeling off or if you want to just stay energized on top of your game, okay? They say garbage in, garbage out. Good food in, American exceptionalism out. I just made that up. So guys, go to mybrightcore.com right now /last call to get 25% off your order. mybrightcore.com /last call or call the number on your screen and talk with them today. mybrightcore.com /last call. Let's go. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Be right back. Show rolls on. Do not go anywhere.
Don't you hate that dirty old hose? It kinks, splits, and it always leaks. And it's way too heavy to carry around. It's time to get the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead. Just turn on the water and watch it grow to a full-size hose. It stretches and expands like a rubber band. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the new Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees. Just connect to the spigot and watch it pivot. And when you turn off the water, away it goes, shrinking back to a pocket-size hose. And it makes it easy to carry and put away. Copperhead. It's the hose that grows and pivots, flexes, and sprays. It puts itself away for another day. The Pocket Hose is so unique and so innovative, it was awarded over 100 patents. Call or go online now to get the super light 25-foot Pocket Hose Copperhead today for only $39.99. But wait, Order right now and you'll receive an instant $10 discount. So it's only $29.99. And it gets better. Order right now and get our copper spray nozzle with our exclusive thumb drive free. Simply use your thumb to turn it on or off. And with 10 unique patterns, you'll have a setting for every job. A $30 value. Yours free with every 50-foot Copperhead. Plus, Copperhead comes with a full 10-year warranty. It's that durable. That means you can order right now with total confidence. But this special offer is not available in stores or on Amazon. So order right here, right now. And with rising costs, this may be your last chance at this low price. There is a strict limit of 3 per order. So don't wait. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. So call 1-800-957-6191 or visit getcopperhead.com. Order now.
And welcome back to the show, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. If you like what you're seeing and you want to see more of me and Frankie every day, who doesn't want to see more Frankie? Go to rumble.com/Crispi, where we're pumping out daily podcasts, okay? Mike Crispi Unafraid. Go check it out. Boom, right there, rumble.com/Crispi. Now, I want to end the show on a high note, a low note, however you want to look at it. Yesterday in Manhattan, at Trump Tower, at the Trump 45 bar, a bar that I go to a decent amount of times, a couple times a year. I go there. I know the GM. Okay, great guy. Shout out to my friend Barry who runs the place. Great place. This happened there yesterday. And look at the way these demented leftists cling to their final battle, their mentally ill battle, the late stages of them being totally broken. This is pathetic, but we can laugh at them a little bit too. Roll, Frankie.
Piece of shit, bro.
On their knees.
What guy's doing that? Hey guys,
Literally, it's illegal.
Leave? Yeah.
Guy's doing that in private space.
Fine, this is breaking it. Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Don't touch him.
Spray paint? Are you police? Yes, I am. Name and badge number?
Oh my God, enough, Frankie, enough. It is so absurd. So you go to a private building, private property, private restaurant where people are eating, you put toxic spray paint there, you do it, you make a scene, you vandalize it, and then security in the building comes to you, and then some other paid idiot goes, don't touch him. Let me tell you, if I was there at the Trump 45 bar, I would have tackled this guy, broke both of his collarbones, and I would have dealt with anything later. And I think that Pam Bondi would have got me a pardon. It would have been so warranted. These people are such losers, but this is all they got left. Take some huge loser. Here's $200. Go spray paint it, loser. That's what your life has come down to? Couple $100. You're a loser. You got nothing to live for. Go spray paint that at the Trump bar. Call him a fascist. Yeah, go do that. How many points did you have to go wrong in life for it to be in that position? Or to be the guy, don't touch him. Yeah, don't touch him. We'll pummel you too, pal. No advocating for violence on this show. Yes, Frank.
Yeah, and the worst part is, in the scenario that me and Mike happens to be there having some nice cocktails, maybe an espresso martini, who knows? It's Saturday. If we saw that and we did something, you would have every single free pro bono leftist lawyer in New York helping him out, and we would lose all of our money. 100%. That's the sick part.
Yes. That's true. Just like a Kilmar Garcia has a lawyer, and I see this woman, I go, this is an American citizen lawyer who is the advocator on CNN for Kilmar. Who's paying her bill? Is the MS-13 paying the bill? Or are NGO groups funded by your tax dollars paying the bill, or are leftists paying the bill? I don't know what scenario is the worst out of those three. But We're always going to win. They can't stop us. You know why? Because they want to do that and spray paint things and have those little protests. But we're going to keep on winning. We're going to end the show on a positive note here. Take a look at this map, okay? If anybody's ever been to Mar-a-Lago out there, what I'm showing you on the screen is West Palm Beach and Palm Beach, Florida. The little pin is where Mar-a-Lago is. And I'm pleased to announce that the Florida State Senate, incredibly based, just passed, I think by like an overwhelming majority. I don't think anybody voted against it. On the Republican side, and it passed by an overwhelming majority, passed to rename the road. You see there, the arrow on Palm Beach Island, to rename that road Donald J. Trump Boulevard. Let's go. So you can put your little spray paint, you can pay a couple $100 to put some brain dead agitator there and wave the fascist sign. You can do that, but you know what we do? We just rename roads and we keep winning. Let's go. Boom, right on target. Which, guys, as we head out, I want to tell you about one last sponsor who made this show possible. Our friends over at iTarget Pro. Guys, head over to iTargetPro.com right now and use promo code Crispi for 10% off your order today. Guys, iTarget Pro is a laser firearm home training system. What does that mean? It means you take the laser bullet, okay, that you buy, you load it into the chamber of your firearm, it syncs up with the app on the screen, you see right there, and then you are able to dry fire with your firearm, and the laser bullet tracks your accuracy in real time with the app. It is so easy to use. My father, former federal air marshal and sharpshooter, he uses it, and that's why they have been a sponsor of this show. So an amazing product. Go get it today. iTargetPro.com, promo code Crispi. We got Father's Day coming up next month, okay, in June. It's not too early. Go get it right now. iTargetPro.com, promo code Crispi. Great product, great sponsor. Really more of a PSA than a sponsor, if you want to know the truth. All right, guys, that's about all the time that we have on the program for you tonight. We appreciate everybody tuning in. It's been fun as always. Make sure you guys are subscribed and watching every Saturday night here, 8 p.m. Eastern on Real America's Voice. We'll see you back live next week.
Do you suffer in pain? Are you stiff, tense, or less active than before? Introducing the EasyWell Remedy Massage System that combines the incredible effects of vibrational therapy, targeted deep tissue shiatsu massage, plus soothing infrared heat. A triple fusion of therapeutic experiences. Full body vibrational therapy increases blood circulation and reduces inflammation. Look at these beads moving from the powerful vibrational motors.
It's like 1,000 little fingers just vibrating my body from head to toe.
Infrared heat penetrates deep to reduce pain, soothe, and relax.
Remedy gets in there and helps deal with the source of the pain.